Greetings everyone, my name is Brian McCormick, you're watching MTG Rocks. I'm going to be playing a deck that I'm having some good success with in the Play Standard 2020 event. This is a post-rotation event, and this is a Izzet control deck. It's based around the power of Niv-Mizzet as well as Crackling Drake, which is an archetype that we've had for a while in Standard. I think this deck is still pretty much intact post-rotation. We're not running the traditional Arc-like Phoenix style, but we are running a lot of control and removal cards that just create good value. So we've got Negate and Quench, as well as Essence Capture, Ionize as our counters, and then we have Chandra Pyrohelix, Lava Coil, Flame Sweep, Rail's Outburst, and one Rail Izzet Viceroy as our removal. Most of our cards are pretty good 1-for-1 or 2-for-1 card advantage. So, for example, Rail's Outburst can draw us a card, Chemister's Insight draws 2 cards, Crackling Drake draws us a card, Rail can draw a card, and Niv-Mizzet draws cards. So hopefully we win in a longer game through drawing cards. In the early game, we're just trying to counter our opponent's spells and destroy their main threats. For our mana base, we're running 3 Swiftwater Cliffs, and of course 4 of the Skylands and 4 Shocklands. I'm not sure whether I want to run between 2 or 4 of the Cliffs. I feel like if I run a full playset, sometimes I can have 2 tapped lands early, which means we won't have Negate or Quench. So I would be careful with the amount of these that you run in your deck. So let's go ahead and play in this event, and we'll see how our Izzet control deck will do for this playtest. A key card for many matchups is Teferi. If your opponent is running Teferi, you want to make sure that you counter that, because if they resolve it, you're going to have a very hard time countering any spells, because you won't be able to destroy their Teferi very easily. It can go up to 5 loyalty right away. And we don't really have any bounce spells either. So this looks good. We do play on the draw rather than the play. This deck much prefers going first so that we can counter their spells right away. Burglar Rat is fine though. So let's see. We're playing against a discard style deck. I don't think Flame Sweep is too important. Chemister's Insight might be important if we're playing against this card. I wish they would reprint Mana Leak, but we have to work with what we were given. So Quench is a 4 copy card for this deck. I could play Steam Vent's tap, but I like the option of Chemister's Insight in case he doesn't have anything I want to counter. Fenlurker. I mean, he can pump that later, but I feel like I would rather resolve. I guess I'll counter it anyways. A good radical idea, but I think we'll let that resolve. Instead, I'll come to the Insight to draw 2. Alright, we'll Lava Coil that. Alright, we can draw another 2 with Chemister's Insight, discarding our island. This Outburst seems fine versus this deck since it replaces itself. And we'll go ahead and get some value from this Pyrohelix. Then we've got the option to Ionize. You can discard Negate to Radical Idea to draw. Counter that rather than Rouse Outburst, since that would give him a card to draw. And now we just need to draw a top end. We've got a lot of instants and sorceries in here. Ooh, so... One, two, three, four. Alright, well that resolves. Alright, so I'm gonna dig for something relevant here. Niv-Mizzet is relevant. And I have another one. Alright, well this will block Cavalier nicely. Murder, okay. Well, we got Niv-Mizzet with the Negate we can use next turn. Now we can kill the Cavalier with Lava Coil. Could have left the Negate available, but I didn't feel like he had another removal in his hand. I just wanted to kill the Cavalier before he got more value. Oh, he just scoops though. But he probably doesn't have a lot of top end. Alright, we got our first win. 2 more to go. Alright, on the draw again. Not what we want. But if our opponent doesn't play any threats turn 2, we've got a fair amount of counter spells. So as long as he doesn't play anything too relevant next turn, we'll be fine. Alright, good. That's good. So gate deck. One has Growth Spiral in his hand. Do I want to counter that? No, I don't think I do. Do we Quench because it's early or Essence Capture? Go Essence Capture. I want to be able to double Quench, that's why I played my island instead of the Steam Vents tap. So he hasn't played a land yet, so I'm just going to slow down his draws, his mana. Tricked me a little bit there. Alright. Let's start getting some value.
Choose wisely, because the other one's going bye-bye.
Alright, now I just gotta hope he doesn't play anything too amazing this turn. And let Ral lead us to victory.
Just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
I think I'm gonna slow roll this Niv-Mizzet. Wait till I have counter magic open. Because I've got 2 Ionize and a Quench in my hand, so I'm not in a hurry. And we'll get to emblem this. We'll just try and win with a Ral emblem. I think that's pretty achievable for us right now.
Decisions.
So next turn we can emblem Ral. And we've got 2 Ionizes, so he's not going to get anything through. We won't play Radical Idea, we'll wait till Ral is emblemed. Alright.
There's plenty more where that came from.
Alright, and we'll wait till his turn. We can Ionize and Quench, Radical Idea. We're fine with that resolving. So whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target, and we draw 2 cards. We would have won that very shortly. Radical Idea, especially in our hand. Alright, 2 wins. Alright, let's go for 3. That's weird. It doesn't say steam vents very easily on it. Alright, we go first. Potential for mana screw here, but we'll keep. If I didn't have any 2-drops, I would mulligan. I would have much liked the Quench in my hand. But we do have some interaction. Now we're really hoping to draw land next turn. We have Ionize available. Griminitia, okay. The Aristocrat deck again, most likely. Nope, not a land, now we're in trouble. Well, we'll just kill Judith. So 4 draws, no land. The odds are favorable that you would draw land after 3 draw steps, so. Where are we on the play? Yeah. Footlight Fiend, Cool Celebrant. Alright, well, we finally got the land. So the question is, do we Flame Sweep? I don't think we do with a Cruel Celebrant out, though. I think I'll Lava Coil the Celebrant and then Flame Sweep on my turn. Hopefully he doesn't have another Celebrant. another Judas, just as good. So now the question is, do we Rouse Outburst the Judith, or do we play Flame Sweep? I feel like Flame Sweep's probably what we do here. Alright, yeah, we'll Flame Sweep. It's gonna be tough. We're gonna be pretty low on life. You just have to hope he doesn't have much more coming. No.
Anyone need a fire started? Say hi to my fiery friends.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose this one. Alright, well I guess we'll Lava Coil the Celebrant. Then we take 3, go to 2. We can counter a spell.
Don't worry, I brought company.
Suppose we could draw Flame Sweep to stay alive. Alright, well that is game. What would I do differently that game? I guess we could have mulliganed to 6. Our hand was okay versus that deck though. I think if I knew what we were playing against, I would have kept that hand though. We had a Lava Coil and a Pyrohelix, which is good against that style deck. Our opponent had a pretty good curve. He got good draws. I think in this deck you want to lead with the island most of the time, in case you need to essence capture. We don't have any double red spells. So against Simic Flash. Do we play Temple or do we play Mountain? If he plays another Brineborn, we can Flame Sweep in response. But if we Temple, we can play Crackling Drake next turn. Spectral Sailor, okay. 2 Spectral Sailors. I kind of wish we Flame Sweeped. Alright, we'll Flame Sweep in response to him drawing a card. Plays on his turn, which is going to let us Lava Coil. I mean, now we can counter most anything he plays on his turn, and then on our turn, Crackling Drake. Alright, so we have Crackling Drake with Quench and Negate up. So if he played Frilled Mystic, we can Quench it. That's fine. So the reason I didn't quench the Brimble and Cutthroat is I would rather have Crackling Drake and Cutthroat resolve than him not having Cutthroat and me having Drake. Because Drake is better than Cutthroat in my opinion. Alright, let's attack. I suppose I could Lava Coil before attacking to make it bigger. Although I just don't know what he's gonna do on his turn. I do kind of want to save a Lava Coil for Ambusher. Alright, so first let's Rails Outburst that and see what we can get. Ooh, Niv-Mizzet or Essence Capture. I think Niv-Mizzet is great. Even though Essence Capture is pretty good here. And then we'll counter the Ambusher. I feel like this matchup is generally favorable to us because we run a lot of instant speed cards and removal. So. Alright, there we go. Another win. And we get the 3-win prize. Cavalier of Gales, not bad. Let's see what we won. More gems. I wish they did something other than such a low gem amount. And we leveled up. Okay. So let's go again and play some more games with it. You can see this deck in action more. Alright, so we got counter spells, a lot of removal, a good hand versus aggro, not so good versus control. Interesting. A whole lot of removal. And it looks like we're against Grixis control. That's not good. No, we got one Quench. Probably gonna have to use it against a Thought Erasure. We're lucky our opponents just got all removal as well. Alright, so Chemister's Insight wouldn't be a bad draw. He's probably got Bedevil, so Ral Izzet Viceroy wouldn't be long for this world. Probably just Ral Outburst him for direct damage if he doesn't do anything this turn. Just to get the card draw. I wish we were playing against aggro. Some of my favorite sleeves right now. I also like the Chandra sleeves you get at level 100, but I don't think I'll get there in time. They're similar style to this, but Chandra instead. No, that's good. We can't counter it.
There are so many mysteries to uncover.
You know, we run about as many counter spells as removal, but we drew 1 counter and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 removal spells. Alright, I guess we'll just make that less useful. Only give him 1 activation from it.
Interesting technique.
He's probably definitely got Nicol Bolas. He's probably got B-Double as well. If we do nothing, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna lose, so.
What would you risk to beat me?
This isn't a draw ability, so we can still get a card. We'll probably respond with B-Double.
Let's see what the wind blows in.
Play Bolas, kill Ral. He's got many removal spells, I'm sure. I don't think this is a bad matchup for us, but the thing is that, you know, we've got to get our Ionizes and Negates and instead of Flame Sweeps and Lava Coils.
Will resonate throughout. I will return. I outsmarted you eons ago.
We'll draw.
My schemes have been foiled. My schemes are never ending.
Alright, well, let's scoop it up. He's taking a sweet time, but we're gonna have a very, very hard time winning from that position. If you're trying to get XP and you lose the first game, you should probably just resign. That way you're more likely to get the 3 XP win. It is a free event, so it doesn't cost you anything to re-enter. Well, actually I do want the land. We've got 2 Niv-Mizzets in our hand. Well, none of us have cast a spell yet this game. Kind of unusual for white-black. What are we playing against? Kaya. Okay. Do I want to play our first Niv-Mizzet right away, or do I want to play when I have Quench open? That's the question. Probably has a card like Murder available. I think I'll just slow play it a little bit. We will Quench that for sure. He just scoops. Okay. Alright. Not bad hand. We've got Quench, removal, and draw. Gate deck. Okay. I don't need Pyrohelix versus Gates. Always want to have Quench available as soon as possible so we don't play our tapped lands. Chemister's Insight isn't bad, but we already have one, and I want to draw more counter spells instead. Do we Quench that or negate it? Suppose I'll negate. Alright, now we can Chemister's Insight if we don't have a Quench target. Got Field of the Dead. We don't have Flame Sweep, we've just got everything but Flame Sweep for our removal suite. Alright, we will definitely Quench that. Though he doesn't have access to every color mana at the moment. So we could Crackling Drake or Niv-Mizzet. Doesn't have any red mana currently. So I'm just gonna play Niv-Mizzet. And even if he played Gates Ablaze, he's only got 3 gates currently. So he would need red mana and Gates Ablaze. Well, now he'll get red mana. We will get to draw 2 cards if that's what he does, though. And we'll still have a pretty big Crackling Drake. So we'll get Crackling Drake this turn, and we'll be able to Quench. Or Ionize. Quench, pretty useless now. Perhaps we should negate it earlier. Just make Crackling Drakes bigger. And we've got Ionize for his turn. So I'm okay playing this. He would have to have 2 gates ablaze for it to matter. And essentially, we're threatening lethal next turn. Guild Summit. Yeah, that's going to just let him draw too many cards, so... Do we want to Ionize that? I think I'll just negate. Oh, and he has it. Alright, well, lucky him. Alright, well, let's Chemister's Insight. I don't think Lava Coil is too interesting. We could still Quench the... Hydroid Crisis if he tapped out and had that in his deck. So I'll keep the option opening of being able to Quench or with Ionize by paying 2. Another Guild Summit. Alright, that's a must counter because it gives him too many cards to draw. As well, player lands out. You know, if I draw a Chemister's Insight, I'll just discard it to a Quench. 4. Alright. Unfortunately, we have no way to deal with that.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Well, it feels like we should have held back that Crackling Drake, but, I mean, we were going to win in a turn.
Here we go.
We can't counter anything because it's a fairy now.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Flame Sweep would buy us some time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's got 12. Alright, let's kill Teferi.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Alright, now we have to draw a Flame Sweep. Oh, just a little bit too late. Fortunately, we don't have any way to give it haste. Alright, well, that was still a pretty close game. And we got some XP. Alright, well, that has been a playtest of the Izzet control deck that I put together for post-rotation. I think once the rotation happens, we'll cut the Radical Idea, and we'll probably cut the Chandra's Pyrohelix, and perhaps one Essence Scatter, and then put in 4 Ops. And basically that'll just make our deck a lot better for drawing. We're less likely to get mana screwed. We're more likely to be able to dig and hit the cards we need in our game, like that game. If we had Opt, that would help us dig a lot better. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you'd like me to playtest any particular build, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching.